Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Here's another legacy video for your viewing pleasure. Today I'm going to try and take Sneak and Show for a spin. This archetype has been around for many years, and a player that has, just kept exploring this archetype is JPA93, so my list is based off his. Pretty standard Teamer mana base. We have some acceleration with 5 soul lands and 5 I was about to say 0 mana artifact, but this is not a Lotus Petal, but it's kind of a Lotus Petal. Hopefully we can pay for a Sneaky Days with Simian Spirit Guide today. We have all the cantrips, and we have our 8 enablers. So the difference between Sneak Attack and Show and Tell in this deck are kind of nuanced, I would say. So Show and Tell is the cheapest. Show and Tell pitches to Force of Will. Show and Tell can backfire the most, I would say. So let's say you go Show and Tell Emrakul, the opponent has, what do I know, Solitude or whatever. It can interact favorably for the opponent. Where Sneak Attack is a bit more expensive, but it's a bit more resilient to hate pieces, I would say. Then there's also a couple of omniscience that you can Show and Tell into play and kind of play the cantrip game or hardcast Emrakul, get the extra turn, stuff like that. A little bit of redundancy there. The big, somewhat newer addition is Atraxa. Atraxa being blue is just so much better than the Gristlebrand that used to be in the deck. Also against cards like Bowmasters, Hullbreachers, Narset, stuff like that. We actually are allowed to reveal the top cards, top 10 cards, and put the cards into our hand. So effectively drawing cards, but not technically. And also, it just gets the job done just the same as a Gristlebrand, right? 7/7 flying lifelink. 3 Cup is of Emrakul because that's just the best thing you can be doing sometimes. Clearing the board with the Annihilation, hard casting off Omniscience, stuff like that. Then we have Disruption to not only force through our own brokenness, but also stop the opponent from doing brokenness. Veil of Summer, great against discard spells, great against counters. Fluster can be great, especially to stop, let's say, an opposing deck trying to do broken things, or like win a counter war indefinitely. Then we have Force of Will, just, normal bread and butter. Sideboard, couple of graveyard hate, couple of sweepers, non-basic land hate, some answers for artifacts, / kill a small creature, hate bear, whatever, and some upgrades against blue, 2 blasts and 2 carpets. A couple of defense crits as well against the deck with, let's say, 7 forces and stuff like that. And another Beseiju. We also have one in the main deck to, be ready for stuff like Chalice, Trinisphere, and what do I know. But yeah, that does it for the deck tech. See you guys for the match. Okay, here we are for round 1 with Sneak and Show. We're on the play. Let's see if we can do some good things. This hand is fine. I'm basically on the hunt for Show and Tell, and from there it should be kind of trivial. I can do kind of a cool trick here. I can go hold up first of all, hold up Flusterstorm. If nothing happens, end step Brainstorm, upkeep Shuffle with Learn Revealed in case, I want to get rid of both of the cards. Yavimaya, so some kind of land strategy. Mox Diamond is fine. This could be annoying. Let's say the opponent goes like Sphere Resistance. Exploration. Yeah, that resolves. Let's see if we get to, maybe that's getting a bit too excited. Let's see if we are Flusterstorming a Life from the Loam here. Yeah, I think that makes sense, right? Might as well slow down my opponent just a little bit. Let's Fluster the Loam. Then on my turn, I'm getting ready to Brainstorm and see what's going on. Against a deck like that, we're kind of basically just up against the clock. They don't have much in the way of disruption, so let's see if we can complete our combo before we're dead. Wow, that's horrible. Okay, so I can get rid of maybe like Volcanic Island and 8. No, I mean Veil of Summer doesn't do anything. So yeah, wow, this is just horrible. I get rid of Veil of Summer and maybe Ancient Tomb. Seems like a reasonable play. Is this lore reveal a draw 3 in this game? Very well could be. Tough times. Opponent dredges. So now my basics with the Ghost Quarter in the mix aren't the best. Or at least they have an expiration date. Opponent loams back. Maybe everything but the Jukabok. Nope, I was wrong. Leaves the fetch land in the yard. I guess they don't know that I don't need my graveyard yet. That's the first land drop for the turn. Sure. There's Ghost Quarter. And now I'm actually excited to see how many islands we play. We do play 2. That's good. We got our free shuffle. Let's see. What can we draw? Rainstorm. Yeah, I'm supposed to play that card because if I find Show and Tell, I can Show and Tell Omniscience and get going. I don't. Wow, this is horrible. Oh, okay. Guess I can't complain about that Ponder, so let's go fetch Volcanic Island, cast Ponder, shuffle these, draw into another Omniscience. Oof. Very tough. So next turn, if I get Ghost Quarter, I cannot hardcast Revealed. If I don't get Ghost Quartered, I can hardcast Revealed. Let's see if the opponent is interested in one more Ghost Quarter. Crucible of Worlds. That card is fine. Let's see what they play out from the yard. Right now, they also kind of have to kill me, right? Oh, I forgot I just put back the mountain like a genius. Okay, so... yeah, this is just funny. Yes, I thin my deck? Really not sure. Let's draw Show and Tell. That's not a Show and Tell. I think I'm supposed to draw 3 here. Kind of, you know, take advantage of that opportunity. It doesn't come up every day. Okay, so next turn, the fireworks can begin. So my opponent can Ghost Quarter me twice here with the help of Crucible and Exploration, which is not nothing. But then I can still go Show and Tell, Omniscience, Atraxa, Emrakul, all of that jazz. Let's see what they decide to kill. Volcanic Island. Sure. Atraxa will look for cantrips or Emrakul, which will hopefully ice the game. Yes, Life from Malone. I allow it. Draw. Cast Show and Tell, put in Omniscience. Just kind of a safety. What you're supposed to do here is just play the second Omniscience. I mean, in some situation, bad stuff can happen. Let's say this was a... what do I know? My opponent has Besage or whatever. I guess that's the best question. The best situation here. That's the last card in hand. So I play second Omniscience here to not get destroyed by that card. Let's play Atraxa, Grand Unifier. Let's see if we can unify Atraxa and Emrakul. I can't for the time being, but there's a bunch of other stuff. Let's put those in hand. Let's play one more. I was just looking for the Emrakul here to, you know, take the additional turn. There's the Emrakul. Yep, and that's all the opponent needed to see. Okay, so we play against Lance. Lance can be annoying. Definitely going to bring in the Magus. Do I have any really terrible cards aside from the Veil of Summers? Maybe I want Besage as some kind of interaction slash like killing sphere resistance and stopping my opponent's like Ursa Saga, stuff like that. Maybe it's not that great. I can easily just trim a Flusterstorm. That card isn't the best. Yeah, let's try this out. Lance. I imagine Lance is a good matchup for this strategy. Can't really imagine anything else. Let's see what they can come up with out of the sideboard. I saw Taiga, so my opponent could have Pyroblasts. Yeah, I keep this hand. It's yeah, I think it's fine. It just doesn't look very strong. I can go Lauren Revealed, get Tropical Island, so my Besage is potentially live, but I think Besage is realistically gonna be a mana source this game. I might want to delay that decision with Lauren Revealed because I might want to get a basic island out of my deck because of this Magus. I'm really hoping the Magus of the Moon can buy some time here. One in mulligan to 6. Let's see what they can do. Play a Horizon land and pass the turn. Not super impressive. Force a Will to draw. Maybe it's a good draw, who knows. Let's see. Maybe I just play this Sage out, actually. Let's say I get Wastelanded. I think it's reasonable to play your worst land out first. Opponent now has 3 mana available. Let's see what that is. Is this Choke? Been a while since I've faced Choke. Sphere. Sphere's an annoying card. I'm going to counter it pitching Omniscience. I kind of want this Magus of the Moon to be a nasty surprise for the opponent, so that's why I don't cycle here. And I have Brainstorm Fetch available, which is not bad. Let's say this was a blue source. I could have Brainstormed in my own turn to hit something like Ponder or Preordain and kept going, but right now my plan is just going to be Brainstorm Lauren Revealed, yet Torpor Orb. I don't care much about that card. And then Maze of Ith. Okay, so none of my opponent's cards right now do anything against Emrakul, so that's going to be my endgame. Speaking of Emrakul, yeah, I think I'm supposed to put back 1 Emrakul and 1 Trop, then cycle for Basic Island, and then play back-to-back Magus of the Moon. I think that's like my most likely way to win this game. Brainstorm the draw. Not terrible. Let's see if the opponent has answers for Magus of the Moon. It's not the most obvious thing. Magus resolves. I wonder once I play out the second Magus if that's just game, because my opponent has so little time to find the mana. A show and tell, that's funny. Huh. Maybe I develop 1 more Magus, and then I show and tell Emrakul. What can happen if I go show and tell? I guess there's only one way to find out. Flusterstorm is not going to do anything. Let's get in for 4 first. I could just get Pyroblasted here. I did enable my opponent's red mana, which is kind of funny. Yeah. Show and tell is dealt with. Magus of the Moon, they keep doing their thing. Am I supposed to brainstorm? I don't think so. I think it's fine to hold up the fluster. I might brainstorm on the opponent's end step, though. So the reason to brainstorm now is if I hit something like Basic Island Show and Tell, but it's just so niche. But now I think it's good to play it, because fluster doesn't counter much of anything, and I could hit like land sneak attack. Okay, so kind of bad cards here. Oh, did I put them wrong? Yeah, I was supposed to have an Emrakul in hand now. Okay. Let's see if that's going to hurt me. Let's cast Ponder. Shuffle these. Play Petal, play land, pass. And I think my opponent's just dead here. 2 life. They need to deal with both Magus. Yeah. That was not the typical showing, I would guess. But yeah, Magus of the Moon got the job done against the deck with a crap ton of non-basics. Let's see if we can continue the winning. Don't go anywhere. Okay, round 2 is upon us. I'm playing Sneak and Show, and I won the die roll. So let's see here. Do I have turn 2 sneak attack? Is that how it works? I need to go turn 1 City of Traders pass. Then I need to cycle for land and play sneak attack. Yeah, I mean, I can't pass that up, so the only other question is if I play out the pedal. I think I play out the pedal. I don't want to get Chalice was zeroed or something stupid. And I think the City of Traders pass already kind of gives the idea that I could be on a Lotus Pedal deck. If I get Wastelanded on the city, it is what it is. We kind of have to play from there. I can get destroyed by something like double counter, discard spell plus counter, but I'm just gonna do what I can to resolve this sneak attack. This is a pretty like all-in hand, I would say. The opponent could be doing the research on us. Jane Nickerson, that's totally allowed on Magic Online. You can Google previous results. They're not gonna find any sneak attack action from my hand, though. It's been many years since I registered this deck the last time. Owners on the mulligan. Always like to see that for the sake of our win percentage. Oh, mull of 4. Yeah, this might not be the best game in the world. Let's see what kind of legacy deck mulls to 4. Let's just play that game. I would just guess Reanimator. That's just the best guess, right? And then there's like the occasional oops all spells or whatever. I guess Mono White Initiative could also mold a 4. Let's see what the opponent can do about Force of Will. Cast Sneak Attack. Let's go find Volcanic Island, because I'm losing all of my mana sources, so I actually need a mana source in play that can, you know, activate Sneak Attack. I have 1 mana floating I'm not going to use, and the opponent has the priority on their end step. Okay, the opponent has returned. Let's continue the plan here. Play the Volcanic Island we just searched up. Play Sneak Attack. Force if my opponent interacts. And then get ready to Emrakul next turn. When it brainstorms, I think that's fine. If you start counting the brainstorm and they already have the days or force, you look kind of silly. Let's see if the opponent's... I mean, it is possible here to have days, force, or will. There's the days. And my opponent might have the force blue card and just make this game come to a halt. Okay. So we got days there. So we play against most likely Delver, that mulligan 4. Tundra, Ponder. Okay, so Tundra and days. Let's sneak in the Emrakul. Opponent will be at 3 life. I mean, this game is not over. I've won from spots like this before, out of like fair decks. Now, obviously, odds aren't in the opponent's favor for me to not hit a creature or cantrips that hit into creature like before this is all said and done, but it's not impossible. Okay, so we're playing against Jeskai colors with days. Cantrip? The situation is classic. So now the opponent can go like big Murktide, kill me in 3 swings. I don't like this. Murktide it is. I'll actually fetch one of these. Oh, maybe that was a mistake. I thought the Murktide was even bigger. Ponder, pretty nice draw. Into nothing. Any order shuffle. Play sneak attack, pass. I don't know, some kind of redundancy in case my opponent has like a weird card like Brazen Borrower or something. So my opponent mulled the 4, got Emrakuled, but they're still very much in this game. It's awesome. Like, Magic the Gathering is a beautiful game. Opponent fetching down to 1, and here comes second Murky. That's why the opponent left a sorcery in there to begin with. Yeah, this is beautiful, right? Now I have 1 draw. 1 draw to find a creature. This is one for the history books. I get hit down to 9. Yeah, I'm super dead unless I draw creature. Yeah, that'll do it. One ends up a game here. They did the seemingly impossible, but it's actually not. It's not that unheard of. It just looks super silly. So let's see. I like all of these cards. What is it I don't like? So yeah, now like a sideboard guide would probably have been pretty awesome. Let's see. Maybe it's actually the Force of Wills. Yeah, I would imagine taking out the Force of Wills here is good. And then maybe some like bad mana sources that don't really stick around. I can see that. Okay, we're playing against Jeskai Murktide. Jeskai. Yeah, no real. I would guess it's like Chandler and Delver as well, but I mean, can't be sure. I think traditionally, Well, I'm obviously not talking about the game that just happened. That was just like in a league of its own, right? But I think traditionally, what you don't want to face when you're playing this deck is like Wasteland, Daze, Fast Clock. So it's like, do I play into the Daze or do I wait and get Wastelanded while I take damage from this Delver or Channeler or whatever the one drop of the flavor of the week is? That's just always been a tough match, I think. Yeah, let's keep this hand. I think I'm going to go turn 1 Pyrodan and go digging for something like Carpet. That would be pretty awesome. Have some combo pieces. I'm going to bottom both of these. Drawn to another land. So that's another thing. While it's good to have like a mana base that's sustainable against Wasteland, you don't really want too much. Let's draw for the turn. Show and tell the draw. That's definitely not bad. That means I can go show and tell with the Veil backup next turn. And put in Omniscience. The thing is, if I don't have anything for the Omniscience, well, I guess I have the draw 3. Yeah, I'm gonna do it for sure. I'm gonna kind of disguise my explosiveness here because I can fetch up the Trop. Yeah, let's see what we draw here, if this changes anything at all. I draw Carpet. Carpet of Flowers is a good, let's call it Lightning Rod. But what if this gets countered? Do I counter back? I guess I don't. That's the whole point of this. That I want this Veil to protect my combo turn. So let's say I actually wanted to Veil here. I could have played out my green source first, which also kind of gives away the play. Excuse me. So I guess in that case, the play would be play Boseiju, don't fetch. Okay, I get Spell Pierced, which is annoying. Don't get me wrong. So now next turn, I'm ready to go for the same move. Now we kind of extracted Spell Pierce from the opponent. A card like Pyroblast is kind of brutal in this spot because it, like, when I have the Omniscience in play, my opponent's still gonna... Well, I get the Omniscience in play, then I play my first spell, my opponent can just kill the Omniscience, and that's that. Let's see. Show and tell Omniscience with a single piece of backup. My opponent leads on the Pyroblast here. I very much doubt it's going to be enough. Veil of Summer. Huh. Well, let's try and draw 3 cards. Let's try and brainstorm. My opponent had a strange hand that game. Really strange hand. Only a Pierce and a Pyroblast? Okay. Well, we definitely take those. I didn't expect that, but it was pretty cool. The Carpet extracted the counterspell, and the Veil took a counterspell, so my hand could beat 2 counters. I think if I play out Boseiju first and represent the Veil, obviously I don't get pierced either, right? Because then I have 2 mana to pay for it. And then the following turn, maybe Spell Pierce would have been clutch. So yeah, I like my play there. Let's submit the same 60 and see if we can thread the needle once more. So worth noting is we haven't seen any fast creatures out of the opponent, which is that's kind of... It's just, I'm not gonna say I'm worried about it, but right now I don't know if my opponent is like Planeswalker heavy Jeskai or what's going on over there. The double Murktide also kind of threw me off. Obviously, a Jeskai control deck, let's say they have just a couple of Murktides, it can happen. It was just kind of strange that they had the double Murktide, but they haven't shown any cheap cards yet. Okay, so I want this show and tell eventually. So I guess I should just take it now. Let's draw the Ancient Tomb alongside it. Yeah, maybe I'm actually supposed to go Ancient Tomb, Defense Grid, plus a Stormier Force of Will, and then kind of just accept that I'm drawing a couple of bad cards because I have Brainstorm in my hand. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So next turn, I go draw Ancient Tomb, play Ancient Tomb, play Defense Grid, counter if necessary. Yeah, this is fine. That means I draw a crapper next turn, but I have a plan set up, so it's fine. Defense Grid hits the stack. That card is also always so annoying, right? Because if it resolves, my opponent can't really do anything on their turn. And this is also just a good exchange, right? They can't even Pyroblast their way out of this. So they need like one more Force of Will to... And then at that point, I've traded 2 cards for 4 cards and kind of cleared the way. Looks like Defense Grid is hitting the table. Okay, so double Force, pitching Murktide Brazen. I mean, yeah, I traded 2 cards for 4 there, so obviously happy about that. Opponent doesn't have a play. So now comes the time where I go Brainstorm, then I most likely shuffle with Ponder. Yeah, I guess I just put back a couple of lands. I now go Carpet. Then second main, I go Ponder. Worth noting is my opponent could have Pyroblast at this stage pretty easily because I didn't give my opponent a chance to Pyroblast anything yet, like anything big. The Defense Grid, I had Fluster backup. So let's see. Sneak Attack is obviously awesome. And so is Preordain. So let's get those. Pass the turn, and yeah, now I think I just have to figure out which bomb I'm playing out here. Which bomb am I playing out? If I show and tell Omniscience, Preordain, I like my chances a lot. Let's see if that works. So maybe go... Don't use it? Yeah, maybe that's better. Yeah, let's not use it. So I go land drop, show and tell Omniscience. So this is also a good check. I think if they have Pyroblast, they do it there. Opponent has a Hull Breacher now, which is awesome against me. But I still think I'm going to do this because I don't like my top cards, and I'm just digging for creatures at this stage. So, okay, Hull Breacher's awesome here. That's a good hate bear. Sneak Attack gets Hydroed. Hull Breacher's in play. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of the risk, right? The Murktide kind of threw me off. I didn't think about Hull Breacher. My opponent is looking to thin their deck here. So now I have all the mana in the world. Let's see. I think I can even... No, I can't hardcast a track, so I need a third kind of mana first. Opponent is looking for Days Undoing. Beautiful. They find the Pyroblast, which is sometimes all you need. Ooh. Okay, the opponent really did it to me here. That's awesome. Closing me out here with a super fast clock on top of all that disruption. That's sick. after double forcing. So the opponent is going to win a game where they got Emrakul on a Moldifor, and a game where I went defense grid, got forced, flustered, got forced again. I resolved show and tell, I resolved omniscience, I resolved sneak attack. That's pretty awesome. That's a good one to have under your belt. I'm gonna get attack for 10, and then I'm just gonna lose. I don't think I have any outs. I would have needed to draw something like, I guess just Pyroblast straight up. Okay, that was a cool one. The opponent took us down against all odds, but yeah, that's why Magic the Gathering is awesome. All right, that was GG's. See you guys for the next round. Okay, round 3. We're currently 1-1 with Sneak and Show. We lost the die roll and we have a unplayable hand. Let's send it back. Yeah, I'll keep this hand and hope to have, good draws. But the thing about this hand is, while we have a Force Will, and that's great and all, we're 2 pieces away from doing anything broken. Let's see if we can get a good old 3-for-1 here. It looks like it. So let's counter the One Ring here. Opponent sack the pedal, and they have a tapped Monolith. That's a huge advantage in this spot. I'm keeping this Force because I feel like in a matchup like what I expect this is, the second Force is going to be pretty awesome. And even 5-mana Force of Will, you can debate if 5-mana draw 3 is better, but let's see. Is this Metamorph? Okay, so now the opponent is back with a Monolith. If I draw a blue card, I can kind of take out one more play. Yeah, that wasn't really the case. I wonder if my opponent is a draw 7 deck. Yeah, it's actually a tough call whether I'm supposed to, show my game plan or be, worse against draw 7. Let's see. Paradox Engine with 1 card in hand. So that's not super scary, but it can be just out of nowhere, right? Yeah, this is very horrible. The thing is, that Force Will might buy a lot of time, but I don't know. The Paradox Engine is going to untap the Monoliths and all of that jazz. So let's see. Emrakul. Yeah, I'm way off Emrakul, so let's hang on to that card. Sneak attacks, show and tell, cantrips would be very much appreciated. Or another Force of Will. Is there any way that I need this Veil of Summer backup? I guess if my opponent goes something like another Metamorph, which is blue on the stack, then I want to sack my pedal to cycle. I think that's where we are. I can't let you do that, buddy. You know that. Force of Will. Coveted Jewel, and I mean, I love that card in Vintage. I don't know about it in Legacy. Feels like the quality of the ramp spells isn't quite up there. Opponent still has 7 mana. This is scary. But they didn't have a play last turn, so yeah. Let's see. Sneak attack? Lauren revealed. This is too funny. Let's draw 3 cards. Hopefully there's just a blue card among those and a show and tell. Okay. So I'm not going to preordain. And now I need my opponent to not have big spell into big spell. What is this? Paradoxical outcome? Oh, the One Ring. Yeah, I can't let that happen. That just draws... My opponent just draws their whole deck, I would guess. Did I just Yeah, this is sick. Yeah, Veil of Summer just did its thing. So that deck is apparently Force of Will, Paradoxical Outcome, Coveted Jewel, just like the vintage counterpart. Let's show and tell Emrakul and hope my opponent bricks for one turn. All right, here we go. What can you draw? Okay. Transmute Artifact. That's a good one. That's a fun one to lose to. My opponent goes and gets Coveted Jewel, which draws 3 cards, and from there, I kind of have to be lucky to not just lose on the spot. I guess there is a world where my opponent just finds, you know, mana and forces. My opponent finds a One Ring. So if they draw into a spell, they're cooking. If they draw into a land, they're kind of screwed. I wonder why the opponent found that card. Isn't it bad? You get one draw, and if that is not a spell, I think you just lose. Because you get annihilated down to not a lot of permanence. Okay, I mean, it worked out for the opponent. So if they draw Force of Will or land, they lose on the spot. Or are in a terrible position here. If I remember Annihilator, I think it's like defending player or something. Also, they don't have protection because they tutored for it, so never mind. If they go for Jewel, maybe that's equally... No, that's these 3 cards. But is not, like, a sure win, I guess. Huh. Fair enough. It definitely worked. Okay, against that matchup. Can I do something? Am I supposed to be like a controlling deck in this matchup? Is a Braid even good? Like killing 1 artifact? You can argue that show and tell is like super risky. But maybe it's okay. I wonder what I'm supposed to do here. I could see like cutting a spirit guide, cutting like 1 show and tell, getting the pyros in there because the deck has Force of Will outcome at the very least. Maybe this is fine. I still have the Veils in case I need it. Maybe Fluster isn't the greatest, actually. Maybe I can get rid of the Flusters. For 1 more copy of Boseiju and maybe... I don't know. Keep the Acceleration? Tough deck, I think, to sideboard against, because I think it would be arrogant of me to say, oh, I'm the fastest deck at the table. Come get me. Speaking of that, can I keep this hand? This hand has play turn 3 sneak attack, not activate turn 3. But any soul land or petal or monkey would change that. I think I'm supposed to try and do a little better, either being a little faster or being a little more disruptive. Yeah, I guess I got what I wanted here-ish. I think I get rid of the show and tell, even though it kind of hurts. But that's because the opponent can put stuff into play that just crushes me. Let's see what I can find on the ponder. Another sneak attack. Yeah, I don't think I want those cards. What I can do is draw the ponder and then fetch on my upkeep with Lauren revealed. I think that's decent. Play out the pedal and represent some stuff. If my opponent has one more of those like great hands where they seemingly put all eggs into one basket, but they really didn't. They just go try again. Then I'm in trouble. But I think that deck has some consistency issues. Like, you need critical mass of artifact, like mana and stuff to do, so I don't think it's very, like, it wasn't the average draw we saw last game. Let's not draw whatever we had on top. Let's draw a fresh one. Come on, baby. Veil of Summer. Force of Will is a good one, just not now. That's the problem. I'm gonna take those cards. I don't think they're horrible. So my opponent can potentially, you know, explode here, like Soul Land, Monolith, One Ring, whatever. Let's see if that's the case. Grim Monolith pass. That's basically what we set out to, you know, have game against, right? I think I play the Beseiju here. I kind of need to get to 4 or 5 mana at some point. When it has 7 mana in play. Coveted Jewel. Yeah, can't let you have that card, buddy. That usually leads to me losing the game, so let's not do that. I can't remember this next card, but it's probably not very good, right? Spirit Guide. I'll develop the sneak attack here. It's kind of sad to, you know, pitch the Spirit Guide to keep a pedal. But we got kind of lucky here. My opponent's playing around my last card being Creature, which is correct, I think. So we get to have a good exchange with Veil of Summer. Let's see if the opponent can keep up the gas here. Now they got a big drop countered. They have a tap Monolith. They forced and got Veiled. Pretty similar to last game where the exchanges were good for me on paper. But in practice, my opponent just, you know, kept going. Ensnaring Bridge. That card is annoying. I wonder if I even have an answer for that card. Let's check the sideboard. 2 Abrades in the sideboard. So I would guess like 1 Beseiju left. This is going to be a tough one. Let me just double check. Yeah, 1 Beseiju left in the deck. So, I mean, Atraxa can go look for that. Opponent now has 6 mana again. Transmute Artifact. Yeah, this is probably going to be the Grim Monolith hitting the bin and the One Ring showing its ugly face. Okay, cancel that. We have Coveted Jewel. Coveted Jewel draws 3. You would normally think that's like a non-bow with Ensnaring Bridge, but if Ensnaring Bridge is only here to, you know, deal with like big creatures, then it's just what it is, right? Then it's just awesome. I think with double Ensnaring Bridge, I think this is game over. There's no way my opponent will have like too many cards in hand and let me win that game. So yeah, that's just gonna do it. And with that, that's 3 good matches against 3 different decks. I think I'm gonna call it for today. It was fun to play Sneak and Show. Sneak and Show had kind of the same strengths as I remember and the same weaknesses. So nothing really new under the sun there, but I had some cool games for sure. I hope you guys liked it as well. I think when I'm like playing decks like this, I think 3 matches is oftentimes enough. So unless I'm on a big like winning streak, I think I'm gonna call it at 3 matches in the future. I hope you guys are cool with that. And yeah, nothing left to say except see you for the next video, and thanks for watching.